This is our daughter's bedroom, and it received its first makeover when she was 8 years old. But now that she's nearly 14, we've decided it's time for an age-appropriate update to her bedroom. And as usual, we'll be doing all of the work ourselves to try and save as much money as possible and to get exactly what we want out of the design. And this week, it's time to finish this space and get it ready to reveal, which will include adding a gorgeous wallpaper, a new fan, new lights, and all of the finishing touches. So join us for the ride as we attempt to give this bedroom a complete facelift and make it a space that's fit for a princess.
All right, we are in the final week of this room makeover, and step one and probably the biggest task this week is going to be installing this wallpaper. It is a paste wallpaper, which I've done one time in our closet. It was a really small space, but it went well in there, so I'm hoping this will go really well and it won't be a big deal. And I'm gonna go ahead and state it again in case you missed our last video, but we are going to be replacing the floors because we had a flood downstairs. We have to replace those floors, and I want it all to match. So that's why there's some paint overspray on the floors, and also why I don't have the baseboards installed yet. Let's get on to this wallpaper. I'm gonna start over here because I know that this is level, and then I can just use that as my starting line, my level starting line, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm gonna try it a little bit differently than the last time I did a pasted wallpaper, and I'm actually gonna use a roller. Last time I used a massive like deck staining brush, so it held a lot of product, which I liked. But since I have a lot more area to cover, I think maybe a roller will be a better option this time. So I'm gonna give it a go and hope that it doesn't use way more product. But I did buy 4 of these, so hopefully that's enough.
After I rolled on the wallpaper paste on the larger part of the wall, I used a brush to go around and get all of the edges. Once I finished applying the wallpaper paste, I was ready to install my first piece of wallpaper. I bought these wallpaper installation tools at Lowe's, and once I had my first piece in place, I used the straight edge and knife to trim away the excess.
First piece is up.
Once I had the first piece fully installed, I held up my wallpaper and lined up the pattern so I could cut the next piece. When applying the wallpaper paste, I make sure to add a little bit wider than I will need for my piece of wallpaper so that my seam is nice and covered with paste, and then continue adding more paste with each piece as I go around the room. Lining up the pattern on wallpaper has always seemed like the most intimidating part of installing wallpaper, but I have found that if I'm using a higher quality, thicker wallpaper, this is actually not that difficult, especially compared to a lower quality pasted wallpaper or even a peel and stick wallpaper.
Oh no! Oh, you see this? Look, I cut it just a little bit at an angle. I don't have like enough extra repeating pattern. Oh my gosh. Okay, so on my others, I might need to not cut any extra on my top and just, man, that's frustrating. That's so close.
Making a mistake this early in the process felt a little bit nerve-wracking because it might mean I need to order a new roll, which could take another few weeks to get here.
And if one mistake wasn't enough, Andrea wasn't making this any easier on herself.
I just ruined this piece. Oh shit. Dang, and I think I just missed my line, my crease. Oh, I did. This is gonna be...
What's that mean?
I mean, that piece is gonna go somewhere else.
Once I finally got the correct size piece cut, I was ready to attempt to go around my first window.
I got a lot of doors and windows to go around. Admire for a minute. Wow. Oh, it looks so pretty. That's such a pretty wallpaper. Oh my gosh.
Going around the window wasn't quite as difficult as I thought it would be, but these obstacles definitely make this a much slower process. Once I got the hang of it, it was time to put on a good audiobook and make my way around the room one piece at a time.
And as usual, this process looks really fast on film, but it actually took over 4 hours, and it was a lot of work. When Andrea started, it was mid-afternoon, but by the time she finished, the sun was going down. Hey, just a mere like 4 hours later, you know? Well, it looks amazing, but I'll have to take shots of it tomorrow because it's so dark in here now. Good work today.
I'm so tired.
Once I finished installing all of the wallpaper, the last thing to do for the day was to move all of the furniture back in place, do a quick cleanup, and bring in the new rug. Really quick, we want to say thanks to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. With Cricut, you can create a nearly endless amount of items for all kinds of celebrations. Investing in a Cricut machine means having a wide variety of projects right at your fingertips, from custom greeting cards and graduation invitations to holiday decor and handmade gifts. I personally have owned various Cricut machines for over 10 years now and can say that it has been well worth the investment. Today, I'm going to be making a big sister gift bag for my little niece who's about to become a big sister, and I'm going to be using a new product, well, new to me product, their infusible ink, for a couple of items, and I'm really excited to try it out. I'll be using Cricut Design Space, which is a free software that's really user-friendly and easy to learn. So item number one that I want to do in my little big sister gift bag is going to be, of course, a big sister t-shirt, but I want to use Cricut's infusible ink to give it just a little bit of personality, and I think it'll be so cute. And I'm excited because, like I said, I have never tried this before. So I'm gonna open up Cricut Design Space, and in here it is super easy to search for whatever it is that I'm looking for. Once I find the design I want, I can add it to my canvas and then go to my canvas and size it accordingly before actually sending it to the machine to cut. I know I want my overall design to be about 8 inches wide, and so I'll quickly adjust that, and then I can click the make button to send it to my machine. This is where it gets really user-friendly because Design Space will prompt you through every single step. Here, I simply need to select the material that I'll be using and then click done. Next, I'm going to load the infusible ink sheets onto my cutting mat. Look at these. All right, now that I have this loaded onto my cutting mat, I can load it into the machine and then follow the prompts on my screen. With the infusible ink, you do need to make sure that the mirror mode is turned on because you will be ironing it with the pretty side down later on, so you need the reverse or the mirror of your image. All right, now that it's cut my design onto the infusible ink page, I'm gonna peel off my cutting mat, and if you do it this way, there's less chance of damaging the material. Some are a little more delicate than others. Now that I have this pulled off my cutting mat, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my design because I can save my scrap pieces for another project down the road. After I cut out my design, I peel off all of the negative space around my design. All right, now I have this all ready and I can go iron it onto my shirt. That's crazy! That is so cool! Alright, now I'm gonna do the entire process again with a different design because I'm going to add another picture onto this little tote bag. And I will go ahead and say my niece loves giraffes, and so I really wanted to include something with a giraffe, so that's why I have a giraffe on this design. I'm going to be using the pink and orange sheet that came in the pack of infusible ink sheets. I think the color will just look really cute. Alright, now that my design is all cut out, again, I'm going to weed out all of the negative space, which is probably going to take a little bit more time this time since the giraffe is a little bit complicated, but I think it's going to look really cute. The giraffe ended up not taking near as much time as I thought, and once I finished, I set my design on the bag where I wanted it and was ready to use my easy press to iron it in place.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute!
Once the bag had cooled a bit, I was ready to remove my transfer paper, fill the bag with goodies, and it's ready to send to my niece. So thanks again to Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and if you're interested in checking out any of their machines or products, be sure to click my link in the description below. Now that we're finished with all of the painting and wallpapering, it's time to focus on the smaller details and finishing touches.
Look at this room.
It's looking much improved, shall we say?
All right, so it came up, I realized I have not ordered artwork for the frames I got. So I want to hold these up and get Dean's opinion.
Oh.
I wish I could real time ask like a whole audience opinion, but you can't do that on YouTube.
Well,
but I'll show you what I'm thinking, and then we're gonna go order some artwork. I've kind of looked around a little bit, and I think I know in general what I want, but I haven't ordered it yet. What do you think, babe?
Why are you
Two
asking
little frames
me?
on this wall.
I'm not a designer, sorry.
I feel like that'll look cute. I just love these frames so much. I have used them in so many places in our house. I feel like what I really love is actually like finding good vintage frames at like an antique store or a thrift store, but I don't have like a whole lot of opportunity to go thrifting or antiquing. But these are just from Target, and they come with a mat. I really love like kind of the medium dark frame on it. I don't know, I really like these frames. If the style fits with your house, like these are just so great. But then I have one more frame, a big frame. So I think I want to put the big frame on this wall, because then it's like we've got the lamp here. I'll have the chair hanging right there, so that kind of adds something there. I don't know, I just need to figure out if it's like too much of like the same frame to have two there and one here. But so I need two 8x10s and one 11x14. You know what we're gonna do soon?
Oh Lord.
Fix these stairs. All right, first I'm looking at one of my favorite print shops that you've heard me talk about before. We got like our large artwork from there. Pretty much anytime I do an oversized print, I have ordered it from Juniper Print Shop. When I'm just looking for digital downloads, they are a little bit more expensive, but I've already been looking around and I know that they have two prints that I really love, and so in that case, it's worth it to pay a little bit more because I really like the prints. But then I need one more print for my larger picture frame, and for that one, I'm just gonna look on Etsy. All right, first, I'm gonna tackle replacing that fan. That fan has been broken for an embarrassing amount of time, and our poor daughter has just lived without a ceiling light. She doesn't complain, and so I forget about it, but I bought a new fan with hopefully a working light. And if you're wondering, why don't you just replace the light bulbs? Well, it's one of those new like LED like disc things that's a part of the actual fan, so you can't replace it. So we're gonna replace the fan. This is a lot of parts. I feel like after we moved into the house, I had gotten to where I could install fans really, really fast without instructions because we had done so many of them. Now it's been a lot of years and I'm like, what are all these parts for? These instructions aren't very good. It's like weird little itty bitty pictures.
It's like Legos, babe. You can do this.
No, I feel like Legos are a little bit easier. I'm gonna go flip the breaker off. I'm gonna turn the fan on. Can you tell me when it goes off with the breaker?
Oh yeah. That's it!
Really? That was the first one I tried. Our breaker box is not labeled still. It never was. And we have 3 breaker boxes in this house.
Once I had the old fan safely removed, I was ready to start working on installing the new one.
And this is where things got a little complicated.
And lock pin from the top coupling of the motor assembly. There's like no clear pictures. This is really like, it's gotta be this thing. I feel like I'm usually pretty smart with instructions. Like maybe it's just because the picture is really bad. I'm just gonna say that.
No, it couldn't be user error. It couldn't be.
Loosen set screws. Thread the rod. Step 4, done.
You're a pro.
Check.
Things were getting tough, but at least she was approaching it with her best attitude.
What? These diagrams are terrible. That's not gonna fit. This should have... Ah! Their steps are out of order. That's dumb. Well, the instructions don't say when to put the fan blades on, but I know from experience that I would rather put them on now than when it's up on the ceiling. If you've ever tried that and had your little screws fall to the ground, you know, on half of them, you know, it's an annoying process. Plus, my neck and arms hurt.
But finally, she got everything figured out and things were really starting to come together. You did it.
That looks nice. So black goes with black and blue. White goes with white. Green goes with the bare copper for ground.
Does red and blue mean I love you or what?
The electrical connections were pretty simple, and so from this point forward, things went really quickly.
I like this fan a lot better. It's very sleek. There's light! Whoa!
And while Andrea was finishing up the fan, I made a run to Walgreens to pick up her prints.
Thank you, appreciate it.
If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, then be sure to sign up for my free newsletter where I share tips and advice on how to create a thriving YouTube channel. The newsletter is free. Just click the link in the description below and use my 8 years of YouTube experience to your advantage. Your pictures, madam.
Yay! Oh, they're pretty. Getting ready to install the sconces. I was just gonna pretend that I didn't even do this part, but they actually did not come with the cord attached. So I guess maybe I should let you know that in case you order them. But it's super simple. You just feed the wire up through there and then screw it together with a little wire. So there you go. I've got little sconces with a plug with a switch on the cord. Look how cute it is.
Once I had my sconces assembled, I was ready to attach them to the wall.
I can't fit my drill on the right side of this, so I pulled my bit off and I'm just doing it by hand. I have one of those little flexible bits that you can like bend, but I don't know where it is. I did order these cord covers from Amazon. It's not quite the right shade, but I'm gonna go ahead and install them. If it bothers me, I'll just put some rub and buff on there to make it more of like a yellow brass. But either way, I think it'll look better than the black cord hanging out, so.
Did you get it?
Ah, that was hard.
After installing the first sconce, I repeated the same process for the second one in the top bunk.
Now that I have all of the lighting finished with the fan and the sconces, I'm gonna go ahead and get the artwork in my prints.
The artwork in your what now?
I don't know, I can't think apparently and talk at the same time.
The prints in your frames?
The prints in my frames, I don't even know. It wasn't even that I got words mixed up. My two words didn't even go together. Whenever I have a mat like this in my frame, I like to tape my picture or my artwork in place. Otherwise, it inevitably will slide around eventually. Another little trick that I have shown in other videos is that you can actually spray paint your mats. We did that in our office makeover. I have several throughout the rest of the house, but especially if I have like white walls and then a white mat and I want to break it up a little bit, I'll do like a taupe color or a beige or just an off-white, something that complements the picture that's not the same color as the wall. It's just an easy way to change the color or to change the look completely without having to go buy a new mat. But in this case, I don't have white walls and I kind of want to bring in a little bit of white, so I'm gonna leave them white. I think the white actually works for this room. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this is too much white.
Don't start telling me that now.
Well, I don't dislike it. I'm just looking at it and going, I'm not sure if it's gonna be right. But Walgreens did have their prints 60% off right now, so it was like less than $10 for all of my prints together, and I got a couple little extra ones. And so if I don't love it, it's not very much money that I used. Oh, it does look really good though. I feel like I could use that somewhere else in my house, even if I don't want to keep it here. But we're gonna put it up for now and see how it looks.
Hey, you know what I just realized? My leg has been in this shot the whole time. I'm doing a really weird pose to capture this shot. We don't need to get that on camera.
No, we don't.
Could you describe it to the viewers?
Well, you look kind of like you're giving birth.
Can y'all picture the birthing? Oh!
I also wanted to add a couple of smaller frames on her bunk bed shelves, and so I printed off a couple of pictures from a very special 13th birthday trip that we got to take last summer.
Little photo of mom and daughter on their 13th birthday daughter getaway trip.
Look at this cute little frame. Look at that.
Aww.
It's so cute.
Nice egg.
Mm-hmm. Done. So cute. I just love this little frame.
After I finished putting all of my prints in their frames, I was ready to start attaching the frames to the walls.
Wait, what is happening here?
I forgot a hammer and I don't want to go back downstairs.
And next, it was my turn to join the party.
Would you be willing to come hold these for me?
Sure. And Andrea definitely wasn't in a rush. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Once I figured out exactly where I wanted my frames to go, I used my tape measure and made a mark with my pencil.
Let me see that hammer. Sweet.
Once I had all of my frames on the wall, I moved on to installing her hanging chair, and since she already had this chair in her room before, the hook was ready and installed in the ceiling.
Oh, it looks pretty with the paint color.
After that, I did a quick cleanup and was ready to start making the beds.
I got these lightweight blankets from Amazon. They're so soft. They got really great reviews and the color's perfect. Let's get some bedding on these beds. I found this cute little mirror at Target. Can you see yourself?
Yeah. I'm showing too much leg,
This is
babe.
what
Put
I
it
see.
down.
Oh, sorry. But our daughter likes to sit in bed and like fix her hair, or if she puts makeup on, then she likes to sit in bed. And so she'll always have like a mirror pulled off of her wall and in her bed. But I found this one and it fits perfectly right here, and she said she liked this, and so I'm gonna hang it up real quick for her. Nailing into wood is a little bit harder, so I decided to get a real hammer, you know.
For the bedding, we went with these olive green comforters that Riley picked out, and then added some texture with a lightweight waffle knit blanket, and then added a slightly feminine touch with the gingham ruffle pillow and the pink pillows that we already had on hand. Next, it was time to reinstall the old railing and ladder. I grabbed Dean's help to lift the dresser while I slid the rug in place, and this was no simple task with a 20-gallon fish tank on top of the dresser.
Ouchie mamas.
Alright, one of the last things we have to do in here is change the hardware out on the dresser, and I found these cute little wooden knobs from Hobby Lobby. Look at them, they're so cute. So they have kind of like the, I don't know, just like the colors of the wall and the rug, but then also a little bit of a wood element that I think just looks a lot better than the black in her room. So I'm gonna work on that. Okay, are you ready? You ready to see your fixer upper? You go first. Looks good. She's camera shy.
Could you cry a little bit for us?
What do you think? Looks good.
Can you even believe this is your room? Man, this room looks so amazing, and looking at the before and after, I just feel like it's fitting for our teenage daughter, but it's fitting just as a beautiful room, probably one that could go in a magazine or something. I just love it.
Yeah, I am so obsessed with this room. I keep going in there and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. And Riley likes it too. She is a little bit shy on camera, and so
You're not going to see her really exuberant response.
No.
But I did want to go ahead and mention, because a lot of you asked if she had any part in the planning process and picking out the colors in the wallpaper, and she actually did. She really surprised me in the planning part when she said, I want like a neutral and then maybe some olive green and maybe a wallpaper, and that was the wallpaper that she picked and loved, and it looks incredible. I'm so glad.
You've got a little design Padawan in the making, you know?
Yeah, I was so sure she was gonna pick like a bright turquoise or just something totally different that wasn't really my style, and I was like, you know what, it's her space, it's fine, we'll just have fun with it. And she totally shocked me, and Justine was like, I'm not surprised, she's your daughter, but I guess we might have a little designer in training. I don't know, just good taste.
So thanks for joining us for this bedroom makeover series. We'll have a week off, but then we are getting into a big project, a bathroom makeover, which is always a ton of work, a ton of fun, and it's gonna look incredible in the end.
Oh, and we're so ready to start, because we started, how long ago did our bathroom get torn up? If you've been watching, you know that we had a water leak and we had to tear out a bunch of flooring and some wall stuff and half of the bathroom. Well, it's still like that, and it's been like a month and a half that we've kind of been living with just like a mess. So we're finally gonna start putting that bathroom back together again.
Woo-hoo. So we will catch you very soon in the next video. And that's it, guys. That's the grand reveal. So this is DIY Wife and her hubs. Thanks for tuning in. This is the unbelievable reveal you were hoping for from a 13-year-old. Wait, who's this weirdo in the background?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to our channel.
My channel.
And if you would do us a huge favor, just go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like, that just does so much for our channel.
I will feel personally rejected if you don't. Oh, we're not really making fun of anybody in particular. Guess it's just not our style.
I guess not.
But if you want to like and subscribe, guys. I haven't any food in my teeth.
Just some celery.
I didn't eat any celery. You actually do have a little bit of food.
Oh, come on.
On this side. No, other side.
What are you, like a dentist or something?
Wrong tooth over one, this one. Yeah, you see? Beautiful. Close enough. Did you eat like strawberries? It looks like a little seed.
Ah, okay.